Okay, hello everyone. Again, my name is Omotade Alalade, and today is going to be a very gisty day. I've learned a whole lot that has literally changed my life, and I'm going to share as many nuggets as I can with you because this change is, I want to go 360. So I want to go around, touch on, the different areas of my life that I felt that I needed to work on to be thriving in this time and day. So I'll just dive right in. I have about 8 points that I wanted to touch on, but I wanted to say first that in this time, there are a lot of issues. There's mental health issues. There's a lot of peer pressure. There's just a lot going on. Financial burdens, exchange rate issues. There's a lot going on right now, and we have a lot of distractions. Unlike before, when we were growing up, there weren't that many, but now we have access to Netflix. We have access to Amazon. We have access to TV, social media. So a lot of these things, instead of it to help us thrive, can actually take away. It can take away from how we thrive in this current time. So I wanted to just kind of like touch on 9 points that helps me. If you like any of the points, you like what I'm saying, please just, talk to me in the comment area. I want this to be interactive. I'll be looking at your comments, but yeah, talk to me. So the first point that I'd like to touch on today is productivity. So productivity sounds like this big word. Yeah, productivity, what's that? Just sounds like, something in faraway land. But productivity for me is just how effective am I every single day in doing what I'm meant to do. Now, I touched on a lot of things that can distract us here and take away from our productivity. Now, I remember this was about 3-4 years ago. I remember I was pregnant and I kid you not, I was watching Netflix round the clock. So I will wake up, watch Netflix, sleep for a bit, wake up, watch Netflix, sleep for a bit. And it's not as if I didn't have work to do. I had a lot of work to do, but it was as if Netflix was just sucking me in. And one day I watched one person speak and she spoke something that till today I hold to my heart. And what she said was that find that one thing that distracts you in your day. Some people, it's social media. Some people, it's watching TV. Some people, it's reading books. It distracts you from doing the things you actually want to achieve in the day. And give yourself working hours where you work and hours where you can do that. So that really, really honestly helps me. So what I did was that from 9 in the morning, I'm not allowed to watch anything. I'm not allowed to switch on TV. I'm not allowed to watch Netflix, nothing. I'm only allowed to work from 9 till 5 o'clock. I work for myself, so I have to set my own pace, set my own time, set everything for myself. So I set my time frame. So it's from 9 to 5. I'm not allowed to do anything apart from being productive and do the things I have to do. And honestly speaking, it really, really changed me. So I want to touch on that today. Anything that you think is distracting you from achieving things, just put it away from 9 to 5. Then after that, you can do whatever you want to do. And another thing is to-do list. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is write my to-do list. What do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? Because I could forget, in the course of the day. So I write it down. Okay, this is the first thing I want to do. This is the next thing. I have like 10 or 15 things in my to-do list that I make sure that I achieve in that one day. And third of all, for productivity, what I do is that I put time frames to things. So I don't just mash everything up and like, oh, I'm meant to do everything at every random time. No, I set time stop. Now that's number one, productivity. Now, number two, let me tell you what I do. I never live in the present. I live 2 years ahead of every single thing I want to achieve. So let me give you a rough breakdown of what I mean. If I know that in my business, for example, I'm earning 1 million, I'll tell myself in 2 years' time, I want to earn 10 million. So if I know that in 2 years' time, I want to earn 2 million, 10 million, I cannot wait for 2 years' time to start putting things in place for the thing that I want to achieve. So let's say I want to borrow money from the bank and I want to borrow 10 million in 2 years' time. What I would do is today, I will call the bank. Okay, what are the things that I need to do to be able to borrow 10 million in 2 years' time? They'll now tell me, okay, Tade, you need to keep money in your bank account. So instead of money flying in, flying out, you need to keep money in your bank account. You need to start putting things in place. You need to do this, you need to do that. You need to educate yourself. So I start doing things now so I can achieve things later. If I want to buy a property in England, for example, I know that credit rating is important. Instead of me waiting till 2 years' time when I want to, by God's grace, buy a property, I will start working on it now. Credit rating, saving money. I'll start doing everything now. So in 2 years' time, everything is already put in front of you. But what you will even find out is that in 2 years, you will achieve what you want to achieve earlier. So let's say you wanted to achieve it in 2 years' time, you see that it is almost maybe 6 months after you're achieving what you wanted to even achieve in 2 years' time. But these are the things that will help you to achieve things a lot faster and help you move forward, not stagnant. And those are the things that in the long run, it will make you thrive. So one thing, which I think I want to touch on next, is structure. So I fell ill about a year and a half to 2 years, and that is when I knew the power of structure. Structure in terms of, and another thing is by the age of 40, I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work. I run a faceless brand, meaning I'm not the face of the brand. So by the age of 40, I want my brand to be making money. I don't want to be running up and down, helter skelter. So that means that I have to put things in place now, meaning the structure I put in place now will help me later. So when I run, I don't run me being the alpha and the omega, what I want to do. When I run a company now, I put key people. So if I don't have a lot of money, I employ only 2 people. I give them the job description. This is what I want you to do. Run. And I'm just monitoring. Now, what that happens is it frees up a lot of my time when I put structures in place. But to first start with that structure, it will take you time, meaning you'll be correcting people, correcting. Something that I can just go online, bam, 1 second, I'm done. It would take me about a month to achieve the same thing because I'm constantly correcting, but I would sacrifice that month for years of peace of mind. That is structure. I also like structure in my house. I don't like things catching me unawares, especially if my kids are on holiday. I create timetables. I'm in love with timetables. So my nannies can just follow through. When they come back, this is what they do. After that, this is what they do. This is what they do. So I am sure that whatever I want to happen is happening. You're not going on a whiff on your own, trying to think, okay, what are we meant to do now? I write everything down, layman's terms. So at the end of the day, it gives me free time. It gives me free time to do full flanger mode, or to do things from a macro, a stand-up point of view, an overview point of view, rather than doing repetitive stuff. I actually honestly get bored when I keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I put structure in place so I don't end up having to, do the same thing over and over again. So that is structure. Now, number 2 for me are my kids. My kids are honestly, they're my investments. They are my pride and joy. So I do not play around. I'm sure everybody knows that social media, children have access to so much, and honestly speaking, it scares me. Like, I heard this thing called roadblocks the other day, and the kind of things that goes on in roadblocks. My friend was telling me that her son just came to her. I was like, oh, Mommy, somebody adopted me on roadblocks. And I was just thinking that somebody adopted you online. So that's when it just dawned on me that children, once they have access to, the iPad games, all these things, you don't really know what's going on. And even in their classes, just the social, you don't really know. So I create time for my kids where we we talk. What I even want to introduce is a nanny free day. So once a month, I'll have a nanny free day where no nanny comes into my house. I'm just with my children. I go through the whole day with them. I cook for them. I clean them. I bath for them. I do everything. I want to start. I can't lie to you. I haven't started it yet, but it is something I want to introduce because there are a lot of things that you don't see under your nose. But when you put some certain things in place, it reduces uncertainties. It helps you to, put nip a lot of things that would ordinarily bypass you when you focus on your children. And you just make sure that you have time, you create the time for them when you talk to them. I like asking a lot of questions. I'll be asking, okay, how was today? What was good about your day? What was bad about your day? Was anybody mean to you? Was anybody nice to you? Did you fall there? Did your teacher, what did your teacher? I try to ask as many questions as possible. And I try to prioritize my kids. Because if you prioritize your kids, now, later you enjoy the fruit of your labor. Number 4 is your husband, your spouse. See, when you have work, you have kids. I'm sorry, still the slippery vibe. Sometimes you're just tired. You start going through life and you just forget a lot of all these things. These little things that really on a normal day, it wouldn't bypass you. But all of a sudden, you are not, going the extra mile for your marriage. Things are just happening. You're just sweeping it under the rug. So I told my husband that from 7 o'clock, is no more work time, is no more anything time, is now gisting time. Let's talk about daily things. And once a week, I try as much as possible to make sure that we go out. And when we go out, I'm not dressing anyhow. I am in full deck up mode, meaning I'm using makeup, I'm dressing nice. I can even buy something to wear, just to make sure that my husband, and I want to know what's going on, because you see, when there are a lot of distractions, as I said, and the distractions can take you away from the important things in life. And the thing is, if you get sidetracked, the quality of your life will reduce and it will keep on reducing. So I try to put things in place that in the long run, things don't bypass me. I don't just wake up one day and I'm like, wait, what on earth is going on? I like conversations a lot, so when it comes to my husband, I try to know what's going on. I will put myself into his life and, just try and conversate every day. I take time off where I switch off from everything and it is just me and him, So that's the husband, which is number 4. And now number 5 is pampering yourself.
Hi, Tade. Sorry.
Yeah?
So I know you are on the road, right? And
yes.
Personally, I'm taking notes. This is my notes. You shared some really salient point. And I don't know if we want to pause a bit and just feel so that it's not empty. In the words of my God that is here already, plenty bass. Okay. I can see her. She knows I see her. If I say hi, we can see you.
Hi. Hi. You're giving us bass. Well done. Well done. I'm loving it. Well done. Thank you so much for coming. And thanks, guys, for always coming through.
Thank you.
They don't want to pass deep. All right, boo.
Bye.
Okay, I just wanted to see if we have a few questions, because I have one already, so that we don't get as it hot, right?
Okay.
Almost every point there's a question, but I'll start with the structure one before you move ahead.
Okay.
The structure, it sounds like a big word, right? And so I just wanted you to touch a bit more on what has worked for you, how you've done it, and what has worked for you, so that the ladies on the call can also begin to say, okay, it's not that complex, it's easy, and this is what has worked for Tade. Okay, this is what I can do as my own end.
Okay, so structure, I'm not really structure like that, so I like putting some certain things in place. So let me give you a very good example now. of how structure works for somebody like me. I first separate like groups of things that I need structure there. And then I now break it down in the very basic of basic levels. So I'll write number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So, okay, let me give you a very good example. For my nannies, for example, in the morning, when they wake up, they're meant to first, okay, let's say cook the food for my kids for school. There's a timetable there already that pre-made, so they know what they're making. So number 1, you come in, you make food. Number 2, you go into the children's room, you wake them up. I make it so basic, so they get it immediately. I don't give you A to B. I give you I didn't give you A to E. I give you A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E. So when you have finished cooking, so you cook, go to the children's room, wake them up, get the clothes ready for school, bath for them, then dress them up. They should eat this food on this timetable. So I break everything down. At work, okay, so for example, when we have a new order, for example, so we have different SOPs for different topics, right? So when we have a new order, the first thing they're meant to do is, they're meant to put it into a system. So for that system, the first thing they will do is call the dispatch rider, number 1. Then after the dispatch rider, pack the order. After you pack the order, cross-check the order to make sure that everything is there. After that, you put everything in the bag, you label the bag, then you wait for, okay, or if somebody else is meant to cross-check everything, send a picture to this person to make sure that this person is, then after that, the dispatch rider will come. Then you have to make sure you call the dispatch rider at this time to make sure that the person that they were meant to get the order gets the order. So I make it as basic as possible, so there are no loopholes for me. And what that happens is when they start running through that system, I don't have a lot of things where, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. It just helps me. So in every single thing I want to do, I have those systems. Sometimes it's 10 points, sometimes it's 8 points, sometimes it's 3 points, but I just don't say, let the children go to school or send out the order. It's too bulky. And there are a lot of things that might happen in between that I'm not happy about. So I try to break it down as little as possible. So I know that at the end of the day, you have cross-checked it. Meaning when you're finished packing it, you might make a mistake. Let's say it was meant to be green and you packed blue. In the cross-check number, you will now read it again and then you'll not be like, oh, okay, I made a mistake. So it basically reduces error as much as possible. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
This like a business school masterclass free because it just made me remember SOPs in work. I'm just looking, and this is you already. You've taken it from work to your personal life, and is in such a way that anyone can come to your home, right?
Yes.
Pick these things up, and they can basically be you, right? Without you being there. And so, and I'm just
gotten it, definitely.
Let's look.
I think you're frozen.
I got frozen.
Okay,
my network is wonderful tonight. Yeah, so it just makes life easy because everybody knows what to do, and you don't always have to be there doing everything and which is super. So it mustn't be one big heavy thing like you right?
No.
Yeah, someone Adenike said it's like having people in place to get things done and giving them clear templates to help them make your life easy. I agree 100%. Frozen again. You back to you to continue.
Okay, so the next topic now is the next point is to pamper yourself. Now, this pamper yourself topic is too important to me. That's because at a very large stage in my life, we couldn't afford a lot. And it put a lot of pressure on our home, meaning things like clothes, shoes. It was just something that it was in a faraway land. We couldn't even do basic things. So how would I even be able to shop? I'll be able to, buy things or do things to make me feel good, But I found a mechanism that worked for me. Now, what I used to do is I had some certain stores that I loved that I used to shop in. So I will go there. In fact, this is my pamper day. My pamper day starts with I will go to the store. I will start trying on things, looking at myself, feeling all fresh. Then I'll not bring that stuff. I'll not tell them that this is what I want. But I can't afford it now. So I'll be paying it little by little till when I finish paying it, and then they will now give me my clothes. Now, I started doing that in a month. Sometimes I'll just go there. I'll just make sure that my clothes are still there. I'll go there. I'll put 5K, sometimes 10K. Sometimes I will just be putting it in till I finish paying. And oh my God, the joy that comes when you take those clothes home, the shoes home, honestly speaking, is second to none. But it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel young when I dress nice, when I do my hair, when I do my nails. It makes me, when they say it makes you feel like $1,000,000, it does a lot. It does a lot more than a lot of moms really understand. And the thing is, depression can make you, it can distract you from all of those things. When you feel sad, you don't feel good about yourself, you feel you're ugly, you feel you're a disappointment. You see, things like that, when it seeps into your mind, you will stop thinking about how to make yourself look good. You stop thinking about a lot of things that really are very, very, very important. So I would say about once a week or once every 2 weeks, just do your hair, do your nails, force yourself, even though you don't feel like it, force yourself. You see these things, they seem so basic, but it is something that is so, so, so important, and it's something that doesn't come effortlessly, especially when you start running a business where dispatch riders are just scratching your head. Staff, oh, this one cannot come today, this one cannot come tomorrow, oh, this one didn't do what they're meant to do. I'm sorry, you just think, well, sure, his head inside the matter. Let me just do the important things, forgetting that pampering yourself is very important. So I would say that pampering yourself is key to thriving. It is key to thriving. Number 6, you see this one, I do not play around with it. It's called HMO. I don't know who knows what HMO is, but I do not play with HMO. You see, even whether you're a loaded person, whether you don't have money, I'm sorry, why would you go and waste money to be paying for medical bills? Every single time you go to the hospital, you'll be paying for consultation, be paying for this, paying for that. I learned these scopes about 6 years ago. I will only pay 100K in 1 year. I will go to the hospital anyhow, anything that is wrong with me. And everybody knows health is wealth. Health is wealth. You cannot let things prolong. And you see, if you start thinking, oh, I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that, oh, I don't have the money for you, it will make you not want to go to the hospital. But I promise you, HMO, you do not pay for consultation. Even for my kids, I do not pay for immunization. I do not pay for anything. Once I pay once a year for the HMO, I do not pay anything. And I cannot stress it enough. It will save you money and it will help your life in the long run. Health is wealth. There are many different HMOs. I'll tell you to do your research. My son just underwent a surgery and I did not pay for the surgery. HMO paid for everything. So in long story short, please go and get HMO. It is just too important. Now, number seven is travel. Now, see, we all know the stress of Nigeria. Nigeria can be stressful, but you see, the amounts that you even want to use to leave the country is also stressful. So what I advise people to do for travel is to pay small. small. So, and I'm booked for a holiday in advance. You see, holidays, getting away from everything. You see, for your mental state here, it does wonders. It really does wonders. So let's say I want to travel summer. I'll have bought my ticket since January, since even the year before. And then I'll not be paying small. So by the time I even want to travel, everything is already ready, waiting for me. I love traveling. And I feel like to have a thriving, like I believe that it's nice to explore different countries, see how people do things abroad, be inspired by all these countries. So travel for me is key, at least once a year or once every 2 years. You can go alone, you can go with your husband, you can go with your friends, whichever way you want to go about it, is up to you. But traveling is key, and I honestly cannot stress it enough. It's like a detox, which is just amazing. I traveled summer in July, and oh my days, it's like I just had a reset button, boom. And then I just felt like when I came back, I just felt like, I can take on anything. The sky is my limit. So I would really, really stress on traveling. And number 8, friendships. Now, friendships might seem like, what's the big deal in friendships? Now, the older you get, you know that friendships are more difficult to hold. It is more difficult to hold than when you're young. You don't have any responsibilities. You're not paying for anything. You don't have any children. You don't have any husband. Friendship is so easy. But you see, the older you get, it's like you need to work harder for your friendships. You see that friend that will help you through thick and thin. See, I don't play with my friends. My friends have built me out of stuff. You see, when I'm down and out, I'm sad, they will all come. They'll pack themselves, they'll come to my house. And that's because I invest in friendships. Sometimes when the wala is getting too much, somebody else will just be like, whoa, it's not that serious, it's not that deep. I have other things to worry about. Spam, bye. See, I advise anybody that has that mentality, just take 10 steps back. Do not say hi and bye to anybody, because it is very difficult to make new friends in this time. This millennials time is very hard, because you don't know who is who. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who not to trust. So I always say that the ones that you have managed to trust, just hold them well, hold them like an egg. And you would definitely see that in the long run, you will thrive. Because the thing is, thriving is when you're low. It's not when you're, oh, good, everything is working out for you. You see, when you're down and out. When I tell you that when I was ill, I could not afford my medical bills then. This was about 2 years ago. My friends are the ones that paid for my medical bills. They paid for everything for me. I don't even ask. I don't even like asking. You see all those ones asking. I don't even like it. They're the ones that just said. But I tell people when I'm going through things, I tell you I cannot do the things I normally do. If you call me for dinner, I cannot help you because I don't have money. I am very, very honest. I'm a realist. All my friends, when I'm going through financial things, I tell them that I cannot do these things because I don't have the money. So they are aware that financially I'm going through things. Now, some of them will now be like, Tade, you're going through things. Let me help you with this. Let me help you with that. But it's only when you invest in your friendships, you take time out. You see, no friend will call me and say, Tade, I'm upset with you. You don't have time for me. You see, I will drop everything and I will make sure that at least I give them the time of day that they need, because your friendships determine the quality of your life. You don't want to look back and see that you're an island. There's nobody there with you. You want your friends, you want your family. When you celebrate, you want to have people that will celebrate with you, your family and your friends. And it takes work. It takes work. It takes time. So I would definitely stress it. Friendships is something that you need to harness. If it is dinner, if it is lunch, if it is cinema. I think on Wednesdays they do cinema where you pay 1K or something. I don't know what it is and I don't know what you want to do. If at all anything, come to my house, go to their house to go and visit. But to say that you don't want to go and put in that extra effort, it will come and it will bite you later. It might not bite you now, but it will bite you later. So friendships is something that I always advise that people hold on to tightly. So that's number 8. Number 9 is savings. Savings. I'm sure you hear it all. This is her economy. You hear about it all the time. But I have to say it again. You must learn how to save. If you don't have, just save about 20%. Take it away. I have an account where I do not have a card for. I do not have anything for. I do not get a lot. I don't get, for me to get money out of that account, I have to go somewhere to go and do it. If it is high economy, just go and just forget it there. Let it be removing from your bank account every day or monthly. Let it just be removing from your bank account. And then you not just go one day and be like, wait, I've actually saved all this money. I'm shocked. So I saved all of this money. But you see, you always want to be prepared. You always want to be, even when I was low financially, it's because of savings that I did not hit rock bottom. It is because of savings. When things are good, you think, let me buy this shoe, let me buy this bag. You always have to think of that rainy day because it will come. It will come. You will be here today, you will be low tomorrow. So to hedge your risk, to hedge things, to hedge life, you need to save money. And when I save, I don't know whether my husband is here because he wanted to say, but when I save, then I would just do as if I cannot even see that money. That money is not even in existence. I would just be active. If I'm broke, I do not look at any money. We are broke there. I might have money in my bank account, but we are broke because you see, the savings is for a rainy day. When you have kids, that rainy day, you cannot afford some certain things. Oh, my children cannot eat. I cannot pay my children's school fees. You cannot afford some certain things, meaning you need to prioritize savings so you are never ever caught unawares. Life will not catch you unawares because life will happen. And when life happens, it is, as Ife says, gas boost. So you need to be able to hedge life. And hedging life is through savings. Every other thing is out of your control. Emotionally, everything is out of your control. But you see that money, that one is in your control. So I always stress that with money, just save. Then you can do flanger with the remaining. Nobody will give you a day. Even you feel good. Okay, I have savings. Let me enjoy small. Yes. I'm let me see if I think I've touched on everything now. Honestly speaking, these things that I spoke about, these are my life hacks for helping me with social media. Please, I have to quickly touch on social media. Social media is not that deep. Anybody that gives me any headache, no matter how much I love you, if I'm sad and I see that somebody is a trigger, meaning somebody is making me feel sadder, then I unfollow them. I might not unfollow them for a very long time, but I will unfollow you for my peace of mind. Nothing is ever that deep. If I feel like me following this person is changing me, it's making me feel as if I'm not fulfilled in this life, it's making me feel in a certain way, I first unfollow, then I start working on myself because it is not normal. And I know it's not normal. It's just that I cannot cope because I don't have equipment in place for my life to be able to cope. So when I now unfollow, I now look back, Tade, why is it that you cannot cope with this? Then I start working on myself. But the first thing I do is to protect my head and my mind, what I see. So I would advise you for you to thrive, sometimes you need to take a step back. You need to unfollow some certain people, some certain companies that do not help you, just unfollow. When you know you're in a better mind frame, go and follow them back because it's not bad belly. People think that when you unfollow, that means it's not wishing me well, or no, that's not what it is. Or why am I thinking in a certain way? It's not good for me to be thinking. See, being honest with yourself is the beginning of wisdom, and you get the necessary help that you need. So in terms of social media, I cannot stress it enough. Please, if anything is bothering you or anything is disturbing you or anything is making you feel like, oh, this is not Tade, just unfollow, take a step back, work on yourself before you go back in. I have breaks all the time. I can have 3 months break from social media. I can have 6 months break from social media. I can have 2 days break from social media. And you see, when you do that, when you have that break, you will now realize whether people actually remember you or not. Because you think that because you're on social media, people are seeing them. You think that, oh, you're actually building things. You don't know that it's up in the air. Go on social media. Let them not know what's going on with your life. How many people call you? And how many people call you does not dictate whether you are good, whether you are good or bad. It just means that Tade, not a lot of people called me when I was off social media. When I was away, not a lot of people called me. That means I need to work on friendships. I need to work on people. I need to act first. So I always make the first step. I need to act first, teach people how I want to be treated. And when you start acting like that, it will now be reciprocal. So when you go off, it's a time for you to do an overview of your life, overview of everything. What am I actually letting go of? What am I losing track of? When you're off social media, you start seeing things that you do not know. You start seeing a lot of things. So going off social media, unfollowing people that you don't think are healthy for you that point in time, and then going back into it later, honestly speaking, I feel that it will help you thrive later on in life. I hope that I helped somebody today. This was a gisting day for me, but I hope that, what I spoke about was helpful to somebody today. Thank you so much.
Today I'm clapping, and I'm sure others will join me to clap. Like, it was fire. It was really like, I was feeling it. I could connect. Guys, please, ladies, if you felt, thank you, Adenike, for leading it. If you felt what I felt, just drop it in that chat. Like, see, I was not wrong when I said this is free business school we got this night. Personally, I'm going to go back to watch the recording when it's ready, because no way. Like, I was just, if I can't forget anything, is social media is not that deep. Stop tensioning yourself. And then what you said about being honest with yourself is the beginning of wisdom. Like, see, you drop what we call quotable quotes this night, right? And it's been a great one. So
thank you.
Yeah, so let me not talk. It's not about me. So let me allow. If you have any question, you can use the hand raise icon. You need any clarification, or you want to say, "Oh, Tade, I hear you." Right? Because I think one thing you mentioned was HMO. I don't know. I hope someone would ask just to get clarification. Right? Yeah. Okay. So it says self-grooming and having HMO hits deep. Yes, I agree. It hits deep. And then when you talked about traveling, like, again, it's not about me, right? So if anyone has a question, you can drop in the chat, or if you want to come on the mic to ask, you can use the hand raise icon, and would bring you up stage. So while we wait for people to ask, right? Again, I want to take you back. Why they put the questions together is, let's touch on friendship, right? Because you said something that friendships have played a crucial role in your life, right? I just want you to, again, just touch briefly. How have you been able to nurture these friendships beyond what we do? Say, I think, okay, sorry, my internet this night is wonderful. So let's see, how do you nurture the friendship beyond social media, right? Like say, real friendships, right? Because we just, like you said, is when you left, if you leave, you would notice, oh, some people did not call me. But then, like you said, it's two ways, right? It also means that you also have not been reaching out. So to have that kind of friend, because again, why I'm going to be interested is the fact that you said even when they knew you were not in a good place, they were able to like rise on your behalf. So it's one thing for them to know it, but it's a different ball game to invest their resources in you. So again, is how have you been able to nurture the friendship up to that point?
Okay, so you know what, I can't even lie to you, it has been hard for me, especially when it comes to friendships, because I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like chatting. I like real life. We all know that there's no real life. There's not that much real life these days. So what I did, the scopes I did was that I wrote down all my friends in my notes. I wrote them down, and I made sure that every day I had to call one person that I've not spoken to in my list. So every day. So I'll say on my list, okay, there's Dami today. I'll call Dami. Tomorrow, I'm not calling Dami again. I have to call another person and another person and another person. Sometimes I put 2 people in one day. I have to call this person and this person. So you now realize that you're having those phone call conversations with that person, because there are things that you might think is basic, but it's actually not that basic, and you don't lose sidetrack. You don't keep on calling and investing in the same people over and over again. That's what I call easy friendships. The ones that keep on calling you all the time is top of mind. Those are easy friendships, but different people have their role to play in your life. So in order for anybody to not feel like they're left behind, just write down that list of people that are important to you. Not everybody will make that list, but anybody that is important to you, you'll make sure that in 1 week, you must make sure you call everybody on that list in 1 week. Then if you decide you want to call somebody again and again and again, that's your own prerogative. And I'm not saying chatting. I did not say chat. I said phone call. Let them hear your voice. Gist with them. Don't chat, gist. If you want to do chatting or whatever later, that's up to you. But I don't play around with phone call conversations. And what I do is that I'm a realist. There's no forming. If I have to form, I don't even like forming. I am very real with my friends. If I'm going through anything financially, they all know. I don't hide anything from anybody. If you have to hide, that means they're not your friend. So don't rate them as being your friend, because they are not. But you see, there's nothing that I'm going through that they don't know. But you see me, I won't ask you for anything. I don't like anybody to dirty me. So I won't ask anybody for anything. But you see, when you are good, let your hand be free. My hand is free when I'm okay. My hand is not tight. So I give. If you are doing party, I can give. If I have 50K, I will give you. If 20K, I will give you. But you see, when you need, the manner at which people will come to support you, you will just be shocked. But you need to make the first step. And that is what I prioritize, making that first step. So when you need them, they will be there for you. I hope I answered your question.
Again, we're in a business class, right? So, for me, it was helpful, but I'll leave it. Yeah, Adenike is saying thank you, and I agree, especially the phone call. And I think what you said about writing now goes back to what you said about structure, right? Because most times we just be like, I'll call my friend, right? We are not intentional about it. And what you shared, writing down, making sure that in a week you go through the list, now speaks about structure and being intentional and being deliberate. Because again, we are also busy, and if we don't make it a part of our life, we're like, I'll call you tomorrow. Tomorrow will turn to a week, 2 weeks, a month. Before you know, it's 6 months, and we've not spoken with the people we call friends. And with the apps we have lately, you think, I'll send you hi on WhatsApp, or I'll like your picture on Instagram. And
yes.
So yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if anyone has any question. I've not seen any comment. Okay, someone said, how can we attract great friendships? I think the last response answers that. Omotola confirmed that we are good with the hacks that Tade shared a few minutes ago. Let me see. So personally, I just wanted to touch on the HMO. Just some people might think, but HMOs are expensive. How do I afford it, right? I know from my end, I know that there are a few HMOs that allow you pay as little as 1,500, right? Different, but I just need you to, again, break it down. Probably if it's coming from Tade, you'll be like, okay, yeah, Tade knows what she's sharing, right? So to also touch on that, so that we have many women begin to say, oh, this is how I explore HMO, make it work for me, and I don't have to be thinking money for healthcare.
Yes. Okay, so in terms of HMO, now, as I said, there are all types of HMO. But my advice is go to a reliable HMO. Once you just ask 5 people, there are a lot of people that are actually under HMO. That's the hidden secret. So what I would say is ask them, which HMOs do you feel are good? They will tell you. Which HMOs do you feel are affordable? Because different HMOs have, so I like to go from hospital standpoint. So let's say I am using a certain hospital. I can go to the hospital and be like, hospital, can you give me the list of HMOs that you work with? Then, because you need to do work, they'll now give me a list. They can give me like 10, 20 HMOs. Then I'll now start going through them. Okay, this HMO, please, can you send me for this hospital? What is the premium? For this hospital is the premium. And then you now do your pros and cons. You now know that, okay, this HMO is covered with this my hospital, and this is the price. It's cheaper because, okay, one hospital, for example, one HMO can be 400K, another HMO can be 100,000 naira. So it's all a matter of doing the research and going through the list of different HMOs and finding out which HMO is affordable and is covered by the hospital that you want. So if it's pediatric partners, you go to pediatric partners, maybe for your kids. Pediatric partners, what HMOs do you work with? They will write everything down for you. You will call till you find the most reasonable, and then you now go with them. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. We have two comments in the chat that came to that. Somebody even say I pay like 1,600 monthly. Rita, Joyce says such great advice. So again, but like you said, depending on your family, the hospital you use, your need, you have to put in small work. That process of reaching out, getting the different quotations. Because if you just sit down and cross your leg, you might not get that.
And the thing is, a lot of people wait for their companies, their office to give them the HMO. Do not wait. They are now individual plans. So you empower yourself. Go there yourself. They're individual plans. They're family plans for just you and your family. You don't need your hospital, your office, and you don't need to wait for your office to give you HMO. You empower yourself and put your own health into your own hands. Go and approach them. It might be, I don't know what the price might be, but the individual one is available. So don't just wait for the company that you're working with to give you the HMO. Go and put your health into your own hands.
Awesome. They say time flies when you're having fun, and I've been learning and having fun, and it's past 9. I have to wrap up now.
Yes.
But we can't wrap up without touching on one point you mentioned, which is around what we do, right? So if you are here and you don't know that we have 7 products, you are sleeping on top bicycle. So as economy, which Tade mentioned, we have a savings product. And you know, when Tade said something about traveling and paying small, it just reminded me of one feature in the product which has to do with plans, right? So I want to travel December. I can create a plan that will help me travel. And the beautiful thing for those who know about the economy app already is as your money is coming in, you know, something is adding on top. But I will not tell you here. Just go and download the app and find out, right? Just go to the App Store, type economy on either Android or iOS. You see the app, download, get started. I won't say more than that, except Tade wants to be generous and share with you.
Say.
I think my network froze. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so thank you once again, Tade. It's been great doing this. So ladies, if you agree, it's been great having Tade, and we want her back, right? Just let me see it in the chat. Let's tell Tade thank you, and if you also want her back, also put it there. So Rita says thank you. Yes, I'm sure that yes, if they want you back, because that gems. This is what people go to LBS and Harvard Business School to pay this year, and you were dropping it for free. Like, yeah, Joyce says yes, Moi says yes. Omotola, it's been awesome. Thank you so much, Tade. So it's much love, glorious. Thank you. We definitely want you back. Amazing from Fumi. Elizabeth says thank you, Tade. And yes, we want you back. Obianuju, amazing. Thank you so much. Let's keep it coming. I don't know if there's anyone that wants to come up on the mic and just say thank you to Tade, and then we call it a night. Just one person. One person. See, the way it was given to us.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
I can speak.
Okay. Good evening, Omotola.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Although I joined in a little late, but it was very nice, very enlightening, and very real. Very, very real. We really appreciate this. Thank you so much, Tade, for such an insightful, simple, and real session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omotola. Thank you, Tade. So,
you're welcome.
The recording should be ready by tomorrow. We'll put it on our YouTube page, and you can go back to catch this fire again. Like, I'm fired in my spirit. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tade. I wish everyone a great night rest.
Thank you.
Yeah.